Hi everyone and welcome to another video. My name is Deborah and this is the Edit by DH. Today I'm doing something slightly different. I will be reviewing High Street. Now, as you know, I normally prefer reviewing luxury brands. And it's not to say that I'm a snob. I do like High Street, I love High Street, but often rather than the name or the brand itself, I just go for collections or new launches that really catch my attention. So often that ends up being higher end brands and brands that are more luxurious. Today, however, I will be reviewing the new Zara beauty launch, and it's a really interesting beauty collection, and that's why I wanted to review it. Anyone who knows me knows that I love Zara. I don't know anybody that doesn't love Zara, to be honest, and when I saw what they launched recently, I felt like it was only right that I did a review on it. So I love Zara clothing, I love Zara home, so who knows, I might become a fan of the Zara makeup products today. Now, they have launched different types of lipsticks, different shades, different finishes. They have launched refillables, and I will get onto that in a minute. Combined palettes of blush, highlight, contour, bronzing powders, eyeshadow palettes, liquid eyeshadows, makeup brushes and nail polishes. You will see that there's a lot. I obviously couldn't get everything. I didn't want to get everything, in all honesty. So I just try to choose one or two things from each category just to give you an idea of what the collection involves. I will say straight away that I didn't get any makeup brushes. I just felt when I was looking at them that it looked cheap, sorry. And by that I mean the quality just didn't look great. I've always been a firm believer of brushes needing to be of a certain standard, because honestly your tool makes the biggest difference. It'd be the same if Zara released a foundation tomorrow, I would not buy it. If they release skincare tomorrow, I would not buy it, just because those sort of things I believe it's worth investing in. But when it comes to color products like blush, bronzer, eyeshadow, lipsticks, I don't mind that. Earlier, I mentioned briefly that they have refillables. Now, this is a huge thing for Zara. Pretty much majority of their products are refillable, and I really like that because, as you know, any brand that's sort of like, I guess, a little bit more environmentally conscious is trying now to go in the direction of refillables. So let's get stuck into it and I will give you my impressions as we go along. Now, first off, I just wanted to tell you that I opened every single packaging just because it's one of those really annoying packages where the packaging is glued. So it was really hard to open, and I didn't want to spend 5 hours here trying to open packages of my beauty products. So everything has been ripped open already. The second thing is, obviously it comes in this cardboard box with the Zara logo there. And then it tells you what product it is, the shade name, which is really helpful. But it's cardboard, as you can see, and it comes with the cardboard inner case as well, which I really dislike. I know they're probably trying to do it to protect the product, but I really detest all this extra packaging that's not necessary. Then when you open it up, this is what the packaging looks like. You will see in a minute with the lipsticks, everything is in this stark white, what feels like plastic packaging. And it's in this sort of sharp, angular packaging. And when I look at it, in all honesty, I just feel like the packaging is a bit naff. I guess they were trying to do this simplistic, modern, perhaps even chic packaging, but to me it reminds me of when the factory or the lab is making prototypes, and before they put the final packaging on it, they say, hey, this is a product, what do you think? Only if you approve it, then we'll go off and make the actual product with the proper packaging. Whereas Zara didn't do that in this case. That's how I feel about the packaging, but maybe you guys disagree. Let me know down below if you love this packaging. So yeah, it's very simplistic. Then you open it up and it has a mirror, which I really, really like. Now, this is the bronzer. The only shame is, as you can see, the packaging is completely clean and there's nothing in there, so you wouldn't necessarily know what product it is. If you wanted a refill, you couldn't even tell what color or shade you've got if you throw away this packaging. So what I would suggest, two things: you could either just cut out this bit and then stick it behind the refill, or you could just buy, you know, those like white tape stickers from like Amazon or Muji, wherever, and just stick it on the back and write it yourself. I mean, it's not the best, but you have the option to do that if you want to remember. Now, this is a refill palette, and as you can see, all you have to do is just take it off at the top, and it's super easy. But as you can see, the refill, there's no shade name on the back either. So it's magnetic, which is so helpful, and it just clicks in place. So it's really easy to take out, it's really easy to put back, and it feels secure. So there's no worry of it falling out. So this is the Face Color Bronzer, and I got the shade, well, I got two shades actually, Medium Tan. So this is Medium Tan, and I got this shade Subtle Tan, because I wanted to just show you both. So the Subtle Tan is a refill only, so I'll open that up and I'll show you what it looks like. So the Subtle Tan, it came in the usual packaging with the inner black thing, but no covering. Don't know if you can see, it's slightly scratched, which I don't mind too much, but you know, if you're paying money for it, you don't really want it to come damaged. So I think it's not that it was pre-damaged, I think it got damaged as I was taking it out of the cardboard. I think they should have put some sort of covering on this and not faffed about with the black inner packaging. Just to make you aware, this whole packaging with the outer case and the refill, which is a set, $14.99. The refill alone is $11.99, but obviously for the same product weight. So I've just had a look on their website, and it's a little bit confusing, but as you know, this is the refill, and there are only 4 shades in this particular type of refill, and this is $11.99, like I said. However, I believe you can get the same refill without the plastic, and if you look on the back, you can see the 2 holes. So imagine you just pop it out and then put the plastic free, I don't know what you call it, sorry guys, or pan free should I say, refill, and that is $6.99 and comes in 9 shades. So that's really interesting that they give you the option to refill at like with the plastic case and refill without. Obviously if you refill without, it's had tiny bit more effort, which I don't think is bad, and it's a whole lot cheaper at $6.99. Makes a huge difference to buy it without this. So this bronzing powder is described as the ultimate glow getter. This velvety powder gives skin an instant boost, subtly warming up its tone while restoring vitality. It says this soft, skin-loving powder imparts sun-kissed radiance as it smooths. It then tells you how to apply it, about the origin. They say, we work alongside our suppliers, workers, unions and international bodies to develop a supply chain that respects and promotes human rights, contributing to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Additionally, thanks to an ongoing collaboration with our suppliers, we have developed a tracking program that allows us to determine where and how our products are being made. And then underneath it says made in Italy. Then beneath that, it goes into a little bit more detail about it with a clickable link. And then beneath that, it gives you a full list of ingredients. Now, just one quick thing about the ingredients. When I look at it, the top ingredients are talc, number 1, and mica. Now, I know that some people won't mind that because a lot of makeup does contain talc and mica, but I know, for example, with the recent review that I did on Bouche Rouge, they mentioned how their mica is, I think, a more environmentally friendly mica, and I know that some people are feels very strongly about talc being in their makeup, so I just wanted to make that really clear that the number 1 ingredient is talc in this product. So I deliberately got 2 shades because I thought perhaps this could be like a subtle bronzer, and then I thought I could perhaps use this as a contour, but we'll see. So as you can see, my face is pretty bare, so I will go straight in and add some colour. I think the colour works as a contour. What do you guys think? I think it's cool enough. This is, like I said, medium tan. So you can see one side of my face, a little bit more snatched, and then the other side, still a little bit bloated. So let's balance it out. I'm using my favourite 𝕊𝕐𝕐 brush by Nars Kabuki 𝕊𝕐𝕐 brush. I like this brush for when I want to diffuse powder softly and not so strongly. That is medium tan. I think that's a nice color. Now I will go in with the subtle tan just to add a little bit more warmth to my skin, almost like a bronzer. Again, I've mentioned fallout in previous videos. I think it's because of the type of brush that I'm using, but there is quite a significant amount of fallout. I don't mind fallout because I sometimes think it's inevitable with powder products, but again, if you're not a fan of fallout, this is something to be aware of. So you can definitely see that's added a really nice warmth to my face. And what I love about it is that I don't look orange. I hope you guys agree I don't look orange. It's just added a nice warmth and it's really natural. So actually the color palette, surprisingly, is very nice. So just putting the remaining powder residue on my pasty chest. And FYI, there is no fragrance to these products, so I like that as well. There's no fragrance whatsoever. Just before I move on to the next product, I will do two things. I will swatch these products for you, and I just want to quickly pop out the refill and just see how easy it is to do. So let's do that first. There you go. That's quite easy. And it's magnetic, so super easy. Again, you know, Hermes, when I did my Hermes review, sorry I keep banging on about it, but Hermes is not even magnetic, it's glued on. And Zara, which is high street, they've got it right by making sure that it is magnetic. So happy about that. You guys know, if you use this all up, you can buy it without the black plastic and you can literally just get the refill for $6.99. So it's super worth it. And honestly, I am so impressed with the color and tone. And I love the fact that they've got 9 shades in bronzers. So I'm impressed that it's not just like light, medium, dark. You know what most brands tend to do when they first launch a makeup collection. The only thing I'll say about the bronzers though is you'll see that there's a lot of sort of cinnamony red tones, and I just wish they had a little bit more variety and perhaps had even deeper tones and richer tones and maybe less cinnamony, so that it's literally inclusive of everyone, but maybe that's something they will add in the future. So this is the medium tan. You can see it's quite a cool tone, but there is a warmth to it. It's almost like a golden cool tone, if that makes any sense at all, but there is a goldenness to it, but it's not like an orange. There is still a coolness so that it can work as a contour, which it did on my face. And when I am swatching the powders, it feels really soft and buttery. And then right next to it, don't know if you can see, that's a subtle tan. So they're really, really, really nice colors. It's just a shame that this doesn't have a lid or something to cover it. Now, moving on to more face products. Yes, there's more. I got the Cheek Color in 3 cheek palette. So this is a refillable one as well. And as you can see, like the other one, it has the 3 shades that I chose. You can choose, there's like quite a few options actually of the 3 shades that you can choose. And this costs $17.99. So as you can see, that would be the cheek color, this would be the bronzer or contour, and then this would be the highlight. Now I deliberately got this because they don't do blushes separately and they don't do highlighters separately, so it made sense to get this. So again, you just pop it out, and again, there are holes on the back, but this time cleverly they've put 3 holes because you can actually refill each of the single shades. I think this is so clever. Say you're one of those people that you really love the contour color and the highlight, but you rarely use the blush. So what then ends up happening on a standard like 3, 4, 5 whatever palette is one will be really low and the other 2 are completely full, for instance. But in this case, you could then just refill the one that you use all the time, and then it's pretty much like you have a full palette again. So that's the first reason why it's clever. Secondly, you can really customize it. So you could then have 3 highlighter but different tones. You could have 3 blushes but different tones, or 3 bronzers and different tones. And in that regard, you could have one that's more of a bronzer, one that's more of a contour, one that's more of a subtle tan, for example. So this is so clever and I really love the concept. Again, correct me if I'm wrong down below, but I don't think any other brand does something like this. So this I'm really impressed about. So with this trio, I think there's 3 sets that you can get of colors. This palette is called Impeccable Touch, but there are 2 other options to choose from as well if you're interested. Alternatively, like I said earlier, you can just get the singles without the plastic, and those refills are $4.99 each. So again, very worth it. Now I'm going to dip into the blush, or try to without touching the rest. It's quite a small pan. That's a really nice colour. You can just see how that's added just a touch of pink to my cheeks. It's a really flattering shade. I'm using my Bobbi brush. Just to be clear, because I know I've featured this brush a lot and shouted it out a lot on my channel. This I got when I used to work for Bobbi Brown. And being completely transparent, this is a time when the powder brushes, I don't know if some of them still are, but I think they're now all synthetic. And this brush I got when it was still natural, sort of like goat hair. So just as an FYI, I know I shout it out a lot, but I did want to make that distinction really clear, that it's no longer the same like hair. It's like this is natural and now it's synthetic. But it's a testament to show how long brushes last, because I think I got this in like 2014 and it's now 2021. So then I'll quickly go in and swatch the highlighter. To be honest, it looks less like a highlighter and more like a matte powder, but let's see. I mean, it's okay. It's very subtle, but it's not as blingy as some of my highlighters are. I think the skincare underneath is giving more glow than this highlighter. It's very subtle, which is okay. It's nice if you like a subtle highlighter. But in my case, because I'm not really impressed by the highlighter, and I normally like a little bit more dramatic with my highlighter, I would perhaps replace this with a different blush. That might be an option, because I think the bronzer color is nice, but I will swatch it for you. So earlier, this was the contour color, this is the subtle tan, and then this is the bronzer color that's in the palette. So actually there's a big difference between all 3 colors. They're all really nice. And there is a little bit of, I wouldn't say shimmer, but it's definitely more of a glowing finish than a matte finish, which is nice. So I've now swatched the trio, the Impeccable Touch, all 3 shades on my hand. So the bronzer you just saw a moment ago, that's the blush in the center, and then that's a highlight. So I mean, it's nice, but to be honest, you know how I like powder highlighters that look a little bit wet and like a liquid? This is one of those highlighters that look like a powder. So it's not the worst, but it's definitely far from the best. But for some people, they might like subtle highlighters, so this would suit you for sure. So just to be clear with the prices, if you want the palette that's already pre-made with the case, the outer casing, that's $17.99. If you just wanted the inner like trio refill, that's $12.99. And then individual pans and shades are $4.99. To be honest with this, there's no specific or special information about this product. It tells you again where it's from and what ingredients they use on the website. And again, it's made in Italy. Now with the eyes, I had a very interesting experience. I had gone through my products quite late. I didn't like open it straight away. And I received a call from Zara asking if I had received the right lipstick shade, and I'd purchased like I think 2 or 3 lipstick shades, and it was really bizarre because I've never had a situation where Zara have called me first to ask if I've had the right product, and only when I opened the main Zara box that I realized, yeah, actually they had sent me the wrong lipstick shade, one of the wrong lipstick shades. So on the phone she sorted it out for me and said, you know, really sorry, you can keep the color that we sent you. I'll send you a replacement of the color you actually wanted. So that was really nice and I was really impressed. I got the replacement lipstick and I thought, right, I will, you know, do this review and all will be well. And then when I finally went through the products, I literally started opening, you know, the boxes. I realized that the eyeshadow palette was missing. So it was a little bit of a nightmare, I won't lie guys. And I haven't had problems like this with Zara before. So it seemed a little bit disorganized in all honesty, but it was fine. After a long-winded process, managed to get my eyeshadow palette like almost about 5 days later. I did just want to make that really, really clear, but they were helpful in the end. So they have eyeshadow palettes and this one has 6 shades and it's one called Till Dawn. So again, same packaging, again, same outer packaging. So really the powders, the trio face palette, they could all fit into the same palette, which is, I think, a positive. So when you open it up, that is the eyeshadow palette. Now, like I said, this is Till Dawn, but they do have other shade alternatives. So this isn't the only one that they sell. Unlike the trio face or cheek palette, you can't purchase the individual shades separately. However, you can obviously take out the refill and swap it with another, you know, palette, or just replace this one if you want to. This palette is again $17.99, and then the refill inside is $12.99. So it's again really good value. Just quickly before I do swatches and everything else, I just wanted to show you one more product in the eye category, which is the Metal Foil Loose Pigment Eyeshadow. So it's like a shimmer liquid shadow, and I got the color Fuel. So there are only 4 shades, and this is $9.99. So I just wanted to show you the kind of variety of eye products that they have. So let me just quickly swatch the Fuel for you. It looks wet, but actually it feels very powdery, hence the loose pigment. And I love how it is actually really pigmented, and that color is absolutely gorgeous. So I'm impressed with that. Obviously it'll be interesting to see how it applies on the eye. I now just want to quickly swatch these shades for you from the Till Dawn palette. Again, there are no individual shade names. I will just have to name it myself. So in this palette, like I said, there's a total of 6 shades. 2 are matte, which is this sort of like burnt orange color and this taupey contour kind of color. The rest, remaining 4 shades, are shimmery, which is really nice. Now they swatched beautifully on my hand. I didn't feel like it dragged. It felt quite creamy and buttery, which is always a sign of a good eyeshadow. One thing I will say is that immediately looking at this palette, I feel like this could work really well as actually a contour color for the face. So perhaps one day if you are really like desperate for a contour and you're out and about and you don't have a contour palette on you, this could work really well. And alternatively, I actually think this shade will work beautifully as a highlighter. I wish that this was actually like the kind of pigment and finish that the highlighter had in the trio cheek palette. So I kind of want to go in and try it on my face first before I do anything else. Yeah, so as predicted, look at that. You see what I mean? This is what I want from a highlighter. It is so much better than that highlighter because it's sort of like a champagne-y color. It works really well. And obviously, if you are a little bit more richer and deeper skin tone, that gold could work as a highlighter. It genuinely could. So there's options. Honestly, it's such a beautiful color. Look at that. Now I feel like I've got highlighter on, so now I can sleep easy tonight. So I kind of now want to go in with this and just see what it's like as a contour color. I'm just being really weird, but the 𝕊𝕐𝕑 is thin enough at the top and it allows me to get product, which is amazing. That works as a contour. Obviously it's quite deep, but it's a nice cool toned color. And this is if you want to amplify your contour if you feel the need. I am so happy with that. And I'm happy with the fact that, you know, it's almost like a multi-purpose palette. I kind of feel a little bit confused about what colors to go for because I have both this and the foil and I only have 1 pair of eyes. I'll play around, we'll see. Well, so I haven't blended it out, but I kind of just wanted to show you the pigment is unreal. I'm using the Katie Jane Hughes Spectrum Collaboration brush number 12. I literally just dipped into it, like not even a lot, and it just washed on this color. I am so shocked by the pigment, guys, and actually it's really nice to blend. Really nice to blend and easy to work with. Sometimes with like high street brands, you think a little bit like, what pigment? There is none. But this is amazing. So that's what it looks like. I really feel tempted to go in with the blue, but I don't want to regret it. It's only makeup. I can always remove it. So I just added a little bit of the blue in the corner just to give a little bit more depth, and I love it. Honestly, when I look at my makeup up close, there was only a tad bit of fallout, but barely, and I was able to just dust it off with a powder brush. So I am honestly so happy with this palette. And by the way, I used the same brush just to apply the deeper colour and just sort of patted it onto my eyelids, and it works beautifully with this brush by Katie Jane Hughes. Then I want to go in with this champagne highlight colour again and just sort of go into the inner corner of my eyes. The pigment is, I keep saying it guys, but it's true, it's incredible. Now I want to go in with this foil and just use it as sort of like a top up. So I'm literally just going in with my finger. The colour works so beautifully because it's actually very similar to the eyeshadow colour I used, but just more of a shimmery version of it. So can you see the difference? That's the matte, that's with the foil on top. I will obviously include an update of how well the eyeshadow lasts. So off camera, I just applied a little bit more liner in my waterline. I just finished it off with a little bit of mascara because they don't do liners, they don't do mascaras. And I just popped a little bit of the gold on my lower lash line. So that is the eye look. Honestly, did not even imagine that it would perform this well. So it's taken me by surprise. So I've got two lipsticks in the Ultimate Refillable lipstick. Obviously this is a matte finish lipstick in the colour Debut. So how it came was like this with the magnetic case. Again, this kind of reminds me a little bit of La Bouche Rouge. I will link it down below. So the lipstick refill goes into the what looks like the lid. So you have to really push it down and you'll feel, and then, yeah. So it's not the easiest to get in and out, but anyway, it feels secure, that's good. And then you can then twist it up and down and then pop the lid on. So the concept is nice. So this is colour Debut. Now I also got a refill in the shade Winner. It's a red and it looks like that. Very vibrant red colour. That's Winner refill. Gorgeous colour. Again, the pigment is insane. And this is Debut. Now it's more of a peach nude tone. So these are both within the ulti-matte category, so it's fully matte. But it still feels super creamy, there's no drag to it. So the full lipstick is $11.99, so that includes the case and the refill. And it says, the soft grainy formula offers an intense long-lasting colour in a single application. A coveted lipstick formulated with ultra-fine pigments, oils and nutritious fruit extracts for intense, long-lasting colour with a smooth and uniform finish. So it's the first time they've kind of ventured into saying that there's good ingredients in it. There is a slight scent to it, but it's not so strong because I hate scents, as you know, that are very sickly. So the refills are $6.99 and there are 14 shades, and it's a real variety from deeper berry shades to nudes to reds, etc. So that's just to give you an idea. There are also lipsticks that look like this but have actually more of a satin sheen finish. So just in case you're not a matte person, there are lipsticks called the Cult Satin Lipstick. So that's a bit more shiny. And there is a tinted balm lipstick as well. So I'm assuming that it's a lot more sheerer and a little bit more hydrating and obviously shiny in terms of the finish. So just to let you know, there are so many options that would go in this lipstick case. Alternatively, there is the Stiletto Demi Matte lipstick. Can we just talk about the packaging? I just think it was a little bit unnecessary. I know I said that earlier, but just to show you. So again, if you buy it as a set where you get the case and the refill, it's $9.99. It's the same concept, it's like it opens up. This one isn't magnetic, and then you just stick the refill in and twist it up. So this is a colour Parfait, I think that's how you say it. And this is the colour that they sent to me by mistake. So I didn't actually order this, and as a result, they let me keep it for free. So let me swatch it for you. So you can see, it's slightly different to this shade, which is called Winner Parfait. And you can see definitely the difference in the glossier finish. So this is fully matte, ulti-matte, and this is demi-matte. So it means it's slightly shiny, slightly matte. But I mean, right now it looks very shiny. So that is Parfait. The only thing I just noticed is when you try and put the lid on, it doesn't click on. So actually, if you don't handle it properly, you could easily drop it and get red lipstick on your trouser. And I'm saying that because I did just now. So just be careful. So that's the only thing I'd say is a shame, because there's no like click when it's in a lipstick bullet and case, it feels secure. Honestly, out of all the makeup, it feels the cheapest. It feels the most plasticky. So just as an FYI. So this is a color I actually ordered, which is a nude pinky shade called La Journée. It's a brownie pinky shade. There you go. So that's a nude. So you can see the difference between that nude, which is more like a peachy orangey nude, and then this one, which is more of a brownie pinky nude. So because of what I've got on, I kind of want to do a nude lip because it's a little bit of a stronger eye. So I think I will go in with the debut. So that is pretty much the final look, guys. What do you guys think? I would say overall, I am so impressed with this collection. Like, I honestly had zero expectations on Zara's makeup collection. I didn't think anything of it. If I'm comparing it to like another sort of high street price level brand that I've reviewed in recent times, the one that comes to mind is Jason Wu's Beauty. And honestly, I would have to say that this eyeshadow palette is like way better than the Jason Wu eyeshadow palette. I'm just putting that out there. So like I said, I had no expectations because it's a high street, and I've been blown away. Like, I wouldn't hesitate to perhaps look at maybe up and coming launches to see any new products that they launch, and maybe even look into more eyeshadow palettes and just get the refill instead. But I've been really impressed with the pigment and the shades that they've chosen. Even the undertones of the bronzers, it's very well considered. It's not like, oh, we'll just do some makeup, we'll just do any random bronzer. Like, it's thought has gone into it, and I feel that when I have applied and played with this collection. I obviously have mentioned the packaging. The packaging is, in my opinion, it's very wasteful. It's very unnecessary. For the things like the refills, the powder, it should be packaged better so that it's not scratching the inner powder inside. That's something they need to consider and improve upon. I mean, like I said earlier, you guys might disagree. I just think they could have just done a little bit better, put more thought into it. Even if they had, I don't know, stamped it with Zara, or there's some kind of nice embossing with Zara, I think that could have made it look a little bit more expensive. And it's not about the price, because if you think about it, when you have like L'Oreal, Rimmel, Bourjois, often some of them do some really nice packaging, even though they are of a similar price point to Zara. So I don't know if I personally like this. I definitely think at the very least they should have had some kind of label detailing what product this is and what shade, because obviously, I mean, shade's one thing because obviously you can swap and change with the refills, but I don't know, they all look the same. So where I've got 3 palettes that are the same, where one's the cheek palette, one's the bronzer, and one's the eyeshadow palette, you're going to have to open up each one to know which is which. So that's where I said earlier you could just get labels from Muji or Amazon and just stick it on and label it yourself, which you can then remove and then put a new sticker on when you change it up. That's an idea. The lipsticks are okay. I wasn't particularly blown away by them, but I liked the refillable concept, so that's amazing. I can smell the vanilla. It's not my favorite, I'll be honest, but it's not as strong as, say, like MAC or some Charlotte Tilbury lipsticks. I'm really not a fan of those. Or even worse, Beauty Pie. Some of Beauty Pie's lipsticks, ooh, they are the worst in terms of scent, although they have some amazing color choices. The foil is incredible. Like I said, I can't obviously comment on like the nail polishes, but the colors look super fun. I might be wrong about the brushes, but they look really cheap and poor quality to me. If you have purchased any of the polishes, then let me know what you think, what your favorite shades. If you purchased the brushes, let me know again what you think and how it compares really to some of the other brushes in your collection. I would love to know. That's it for now. Who knows if I will revisit this review. If you have any questions, or if there's something that I haven't gone through, feel free to, you know, ask me down below in the comment section. I always love hearing from you guys, as you know. Thanks again for watching and always for your support. I will catch you on the next one. Take care. So I just thought I would do a check-in video. I haven't done one before. Earlier when I did the filming, it was about I think 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock perhaps, and now it's almost midnight. So I've been wearing it for a good 8-9 hours, and just to say, because I didn't say it earlier, I am wearing the Nars smudge proof tinted eye base, as I always do with every video. I haven't touched up my eyeshadow, so as you can see, it's still on. It's gone slightly patchy on my left eye, but my right is looking good. And overall, to be honest, I'm still really happy with how it looks. So please excuse the oiliness on my face and my pajama top. But yeah, I just wanted to do a check-in. Still really impressed.
Butterflies in my stomach, butterflies in my chest.